And you are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network coming to you live from the United States of America. Today we got a very interesting topic they can discuss, and this topic get to do with. I just want to make sure. Okay, it seems like let me do quick stuff here. It seems like my audio is not. Hold on, let me just do some quick audio check here. All right. Yeah, I think the audio is coming very nice. But why? All right. Seems like the audio is coming very nice, right? If you guys don't see the audio, please let me know. I'll be able for boost them up. All right. Seems like the audio is coming very nice, right? If you guys don't see the audio, please let me know. I'll be able for boost them up. All right. Now I can confirm that our audio is coming very clearly. So we got a very important topic today. We will get for can discuss, and that topic get to do with the cyber crime law. Cyber crime law. We Parliament introduced yesterday. If you get anything, if you want to be part of the conversation, please you can send your comments now the comment section of the whether Facebook or YouTube. If you're watching YouTube, you send comment now that comment section on YouTube. If na Facebook, na the same thing na the comment section on Facebook. You can just send that comment there. I will bring you. I will broadcast that comment there now. Yeah, and we just believe say this is a very important topic where we want for discuss today, and because it has to do with the very social media where a lot of people today get so many things them for do na social media in terms of trying to be part of okay, I'm trying to hold on, I'm trying to do some. Okay, let me just share. Let me just share the link to all the groups and individuals. Then just give me one moment. Let's just share the links here. Then we will go from there. But this is now a very important topic where I want for we discuss today, because it gets implications, and the implications that I want for discuss today that make I want for share them wide and clear. If you okay, let me also do it on an individual. Now just give me quick minutes for make I able to share the links them to individual groups them, so we'll be able to discuss this. But now very important thing. Okay. All right. Sierra Leone Parliament introduced a law, a cyber crime bill, na Parliament yesterday, where it ever affect you as an individual, irrespective of who you there. Whether you did in the diaspora or you did in the country, inside the country, this bill gets an implication, and because of that, that make I want for talk about this. If you want to be part of the conversation, please let me first of all put the link Now, I dey put the link at the comment section so that you will able to follow that link there. You come in if you want for hold on. But the link that one day, if you want for be part of the conversation, let me just write down. Like, we all see it, because this is very, very important. If you want to be part of the conversation, follow link. Okay. All right. So I don't put that. If you want to be part of the conversation, like the link that one day. But this is very, very important for make we all know why it is important for us we discuss this. Cybercrime bill is introduced in Sierra Leone Parliament. Okay, it is introduced in Sierra Leone Parliament. Now, we get a lot of people them where they name on social media 24/7. Some people then when they sleep safe, then they dream for say, then they can type on social media, you know. Now, the government of Sierra Leone has introduced a bill in Parliament for make them able to regulate social media. All right. Yesterday was the first reading of the bill. Okay. And after that first brief reading, the members of Parliament get for postpone them because they want for bring in some people them, especially ONS and the CID and the security guys we get for implement this cyber security bill we then get for pass then get for pass na Parliament. Now, I don't know whether the people them, the government, will write this bill, don't consult experts on cyber security, because except that the purpose of this particular bill for make they able for stifle or restrict the freedom of speech of individual. Well, first of all, let me back out a little bit. Let me start from where this is going. As a cybersecurity expert, somebody with a PhD in cybersecurity, I very well know say when you introduce a cyber crime bill now a country like Sierra Leone, the implication is very, very big, because cybersecurity is something we cut across borderline. Okay, and there are people na the diaspora, Sierra Leoneans na the diaspora, we they use social media for go after individuals, for go after the government, for go after social the opposition, for go after everything where they're not able for touch with their own hands. So they use their virtual hands for make them go after them people then they. Now, I have no doubt Sierra Leone needs cybercrime laws. And I don't think say we'll get any. So I want to start from there. We need cybercrime laws, okay? The reason why we need cybercrime laws, the way the world done it today, we get what we call a virtual global village. We are in the border of a country does not prevent you for involve virtually in that country and do anything you want to do in that country without physically being in that country. You're able for cause damage in that country there virtually, and you're able for make if you want for make. And as cybercrime has been going up globally, cybercrime has become one of the largest industries in the world today. There are people around the world where they not get any job where they do, but cybercrime, trying to find information about individual, a country, an organization, a company, anything where they think of. Try to find that information there and able to extract that information there for financial gain. And as a country like Sierra Leone, we're very low in terms of technology, they are vulnerable. Okay? Sierra Leone is a vulnerable country when it comes to cyber security. We will not get the expertise needed, except we own cyber security. We pledge them into somebody else, another country, because I understand saying we get a cyber unit in Sierra Leone, but that cyber unit, what actually they're able to do, nothing. So all their reliance is on the British. And when you put your trust, your country's trust to another country, then the possibilities in that country they go able to use them for their own benefit and even exploit you is very, very great, because at least a government or a country is supposed to forget what we call private things then when they do without the exposure of them things then they to a third party or a country, no matter what's in the relationship with that country. Then we have it here in the United States, and I believe say every advanced country has it also. And so the introduction of the bill is very, very important. I have no doubt about that. The introduction of the bill is important. Now, if we introduce a cyber crime bill, waiting now the ingredients of that bill there, now most important. Is it for make them go after the real cyber criminals, or go after the citizens that will get the opportunity for going on social media and just vent out their own frustration about the government or about an individual, about an organization or something like that? This is where the implication is, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where we have to pay attention. Yesterday I was able to talk to a few parliamentarians that we've been there yesterday in that reading day in the parliament about this bill. And one of the unfortunate parts we find out, even the parliamentarians them, where they try for debate this bill, they not even get a clue of what thing actually they go on. This is where the problem is. And this is why they had to postpone it. And I asked also for a soft copy of the bill yesterday, so that because I know CIGF can't talk about the bill today, so I asked for a soft copy. Guess what? The parliamentarian themselves said they not get a soft copy. Now hard copy they get. And this is, it will make you see, hard copy, now in then get. That they tell you the level of technological advance way Sierra Leone day. A very, very pathetic. At this particular time, when you are moving towards a information technology, at least the government, supposed for get let's say the simplest thing where even a single person, an individual gets email, where the government supposed to get an email portal for government workers them. Like here, I they work for the government now. And I know say everything where I get for do with the government, then they send that information in my email. We get an extension of .gov. Now, and then they send that information there. Now, I don't think say that even exists in Sierra Leone. So when I asked the parliamentarians that were able to talk to for a soft copy, I asked each and every one of them, do you have a soft copy of this? They say, unfortunately, no, not only hard copy. And even the hard copy, they not even read them yet. And then they go, well, how do they do them? This is where, anyway, Sierra Leone need for change anyway. But that's not another topic. But this is how then they do. Then they go read the bill loudly. Okay? Everybody they listen. When they read the bill, now that make them call them first reading, right? Now, after that, then they give chance for make the individual parliamentarians that for make them able for debate on the bill. They don't get a soft copy at all. So that was a disgrace for Leone County. If Sierra Leone really serious about going digital, these are some of the things first, the basic things that first way they're supposed to put in place. Every single government official worker supposed to get a government email address. We're supposed to forget that. I'm not talking about our private email at mankota@gmail.com. No. I'm talking about like mankota@sierraleonegovernment.gov or .sl, something like that. So and some of these things are very, very cheap now. Go to Google, right? Create get contract with Google. Then they host them for you. Then they host them for the entire government. Because we say first we've been there with Microsoft. Then now we don't move from Microsoft to Google, because we believe say Google is a little bit faster and not get too much of bugs as when the Microsoft stuff. Then the Outlook now get some kind of vulnerabilities. So we be not move from Microsoft. So these are some of the things then where a government where we are really, really serious for go to towards digital things them at the country they're supposed to forget. The second thing with the second question where I want to ask, why in the name of God they're not able to send a soft copy to parliamentarians then? Why? Because you know why? In my own opinion, because the government now wants for make their bills then they leak to the public. That is why. And the second reason is there is no centralized email system where the government they use for their own government officials them. I think if any government official where they watch this broadcast, they are tell Madabio, tell the information and technology minister, or whatever you call that person there. I think Narado Yoki. Or Narado Yoki, I think yeah, I don't know if name. Yeah, tell and say it is time for make the government try for get an email system for every government worker. If they're serious about trying for solve digital crime, how you go solve digital crime when the people themselves, the government workers themselves, they not get any kind of an email system, So that is the thing. So in as much as I support the formation or the introduction of a cybercrime bill because the government has to protect its citizens and the country and properties from theft, cybercrime. But is this the reason why government is introducing this crime bill? Or it is because the people of Sierra Leone, the citizens of Sierra Leone, are now indebted on social media for make them able for criticize or hold the government accountable, and the government not like that. So therefore, then they try for introduce a cybercrime bill. We get for restrict some of them people, and if that bill pass, the people that within the diaspora also are not immune to that. Are not immune. So it has a legal implication for everybody. Because, for example, I am in the United States of America today, right? What happened if I send materials where they criticize the government? Well, I then at the United States, I send these materials, but the government is in Sierra Leone, and this government receive this material in Sierra Leone. I want for them to pay attention to the implication, ladies and gentlemen. As a cybersecurity expert, I did try to explain you the basics of the implications of some of them bills, and that make it very important. The government, before ever even introduce this bill for being done, get cyber security expert them for make them able explain to them waiting at the implication how this get for affect the individual Sierra Leoneans. I don't know if they do them, but I don't think they do them because this is a bill where probably was written by somebody who has no idea what he try for right. So if me send material criticizing the government, I am in the United States of America, but the material happens for reach to the government in Sierra Leone. And if the government want to take action against me, right? Are they legally binding? Those actions, when they take, it affects me because that's what we call geographical implications of cyber crime laws. Well, where I live in the United States of America, there is no law where say I not for criticize the government. Okay? And because I am living geographically in the United States, so therefore, I should not be held accountable in Sierra Leone because the government in Sierra Leone, which I criticize, which by a matter of fact is not a crime, should hold me accountable. But this bill will hold you accountable. Not for say and therefore indict you for say ask the government of Sierra Leone for indict you for say do you have to indict this person because you don't criticize the government, you talk about this, then they wait you for make you go to salon. When you go to salon, now then they arrest you. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I want to pay attention, very critical. What you make I spend more time trying to explain on this particular matter is because if this bill passes, there is no way where you within at the diaspora will hurt a government. It could be the SLPP government, which is now the current government, or another government will get for calm, where probably not the SLPP government. So some of these bills are not, we know to try for look at some of them bills here as us versus them, SLPP versus APC. No, this bill therefore affects everybody, whether you're not APC or SLPP, because if today it not affect you, because now you dey try for support the government and try for defend the government, talk good about the government, maybe it will, the bill could not affect you today. But what happened if the APC come back na power, or another party come back na power, then can use this same bill for go after you. Just like if the SLPP want for use this particular legislation for go after them critics. You understand what they talk about, right? Let me try for bringing commentator. All right. So this is where I have some kind of reservation, even though I support for make them able for create a cyber crime legislation where they protect. And I want to emphasize the key word here is protect the lives, properties, and individual citizens from cyber crime. I support that. But look at the people that will write this bill. Just look at the people that will write this bill. Radoyoki. I don't want to know say Radoyoki now somebody when an expert in cyber crime or cyber security. This is where the implication is. And when you give somebody where or people them where they don't know, they don't get the expertise for a certain area for make them control that area again, the possibility say then go do something where you get for hurt people, them bad one unnecessarily important. But so therefore, what do I want for do? I want for talk to the government for make when you don't postpone this while for us. I don't know if next week this thing I get for come back. Then I understand say they're supposed for continue the reading next week. Make them hold this thing for us until then try for bringing experts, cyber security expert them for make they able to consult them, say, okay, look at this bill, look at this plan, waiting at the implication where this bill gets. I'm talking about the negative implication, because the positive implication, everybody will support the positive implication, right? But the most important thing is the negative implication. Waiting at the negative implication towards the Sierra Leonean people in this bill. Let me ask the expert them. Here in the United States, any bill where they want for pass, where now it get potential negative implication towards the citizen, then they call the expert them. Say, okay, you are an expert in this area. This is what we want to do. And I want for make una able for advise we. Una look at this, the skeleton of the bill. Una look at that, una guide we, waiting we get for do. And like for cyber security, cyber crime, not so internal something, get the internal prospect where a lot of people then think say, oh, this is just about inside Sierra Leone. No, it's not about Sierra Leone, because cyber information is not a national issue. It is an international issue, right? So let them call the experts then for make them can advise them, say, okay, what is the implication here? After they don't understand and get the best advice, then probably then we'll go ahead and introduce this bill. But rushing this bill, because then they get pressure from social media, because I think say the motive behind this is actually has to do with social media. Yes, even though a lot of times people then they try for cause problem, cyber crimes within the country, but the main reason why they are rushing this bill without experts for making able to take a look at and get some consultation from experts is because the pressure with the government they get from social media. And that is going to affect this bill. It's going to affect me. It's going to affect you with the listen. If you don't affect it today, it will affect you tomorrow. That is my own take on this. Now let me bring in Mr. Kabu. Mr. Kabu, welcome to the program. This is very great. I really support the introduction of a cybercrime bill, because just like what I said in the monologue, it has to work. The country has to work towards digitalization, and when you work towards digitalization, the possibility for cybercrime is very, very great. So if you not get laws, then we're able to protect people from cybercrime, then you expose your people into dangerous circumstances. We see that just today, just today, the White House just announced, say, Microsoft Outlook, the Microsoft Office Outlook has some vulnerability where it allow hackers them for make them commandeer your system without you knowing it. So these are the potential danger of cyber criminals, you know. And a small country like Sierra Leone, I think we need forget them lost than they, but what they inside the law now is most important. And based on the parliamentarians, then I don't talk to yesterday, it seems like this is more of trying to deter people the way they try for abuse social media instead of creating an actual cyber crime for protect people them. What do you think? You mute, Mr. Gabo. Mr. Gabo, you mute.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mankota. This is Carbo from New York, and thank you very much for giving me this privilege this afternoon to contribute on this issue of cybersecurity about to be introduced in Sierra Leone.
Yep.
And um, uh, it's a very important topic. But I want to put the record straight. First, I want to congratulate the government of Marabio and the minister himself for the opportunity to, be extended to Sierra Leoneans, the opportunity we all enjoy in the world be extended to Sierra Leoneans to introduce a bill to parliament in order to have cybersecurity as part of the department in Sierra Leone to monitor the country's daily affairs. Um, and the second thing I want to say about it is probably Mr. Mankota, what he said, like Rado Yoki don't don't have the experience or is not a cybersecurity. Um, he is um, um, a supervisor, a head of a ministry. Ministries are just like the human being, the human body, which is it has certain organs attached to it, and in those organs there are specialized organs which are handled by individuals. For instance, you take the head, you have a head injury expert, you have the eye, nose, and throat, what we call I don't know, head, nose, and throat, and the ear, nose, and throat, ENT, and other parts in the head.
You can say they are
Uh,
not anatomy of the body, so that actually hold everything else.
right. So in those organs, you have people who are specialized to take care of that. There's somebody who takes care of a head injury in America cannot take care of head, nose, or ear, nose, and throat, ear and teeth. And there are dentists who are experts for the mouth. They cannot take care of those. So Radoyoki is just a manager as such, somebody who supervises. And I believe, and I'm sure as a government, he has the experts in the various organs, the various extensions he has in his ministry. And also, I'm sure he has consulted experts. Everybody would think about that. I am quite sure about that. To say he didn't
You
consult
sure?
experts,
Are you
I
sure?
am
Or you speculate?
I'm not speculating because when I'm talking about Sierra Leone government, I should be sure because it is a whole uh, 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 governance issue. I'm not sure, and Rado Yoki, the listeners will listen to me, then he will be, then yeah, Rado Yoki will just get up overnight and say, look, I'm going to write this, we have to do this, we have to do this for cybersecurity when
Who
he
who?
has.
Since you say when it comes to government, you just talk no more. You get for sure before you talk. Who are the expert that this bill was oh, well, who are the expert that consulted for write this bill? If you know, you don't
Well,
know, right?
I know that's the next question you're going to come with, but
Yeah,
that is
definitely. I'm
impossible
gonna.
in management. As I do management, business administration, it's not different from all those issues. And even if you become a cybersecurity expert in Sierra Leone, probably I'll be the one to manage you, Mr. Mankota. All right, because yeah,
How
that
you
those
will
are
manage me?
different
That's what you
tiers.
want to talk about.
No, you might be the head, but I'll manage you because there are certain things we have to look at in management principles,
Okay.
and there are people who are, even if doctors in hospitals are managed by managers,
Yeah.
yes, they just call them and come do
Uh,
this, and they are being managed.
yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So I started by saying he's a manager, so I know I'm not going to tell you who the person is, but I'm sure
I
if
don't
you
think, Mr. Gabo, if I make we, too much delve into something we don't know, I don't think say then get any experts consultants we then consult on this particular thing. This is why hold on. This is why Parliament actually now is forcing them for try for bringing people like ONS and the police, because these are the people that are going to implement this, And me, what I want for make them bring in cyber security experts. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Mankota, in terms of responsibilities, I don't know how you might define responsibilities, but it's a broader term. And in terms of management, they're all broader terms. I am saying, and I repeat it, people hearing me in the world, that I am not expecting Rado to get up overnight and say, I'm going to go into this bill called cybersecurity when he don't have consultants, when he hasn't consulted people or those who are in the cyber system, not only in Sierra Leone, maybe outside even the country, if possible, if need be. That I will assure you. Rado will not do that. And no responsible government will do that.
I don't think they have done that, and I am pretty much sure because well, no matter what you would call, I get investigated yesterday more about this than probably you. Based on what I understand, it seems like that is not the case. So say they consult experts, cybersecurity expert. I don't think that was the case.
All right, Mr. Vankota, as you stand by your point, so also I stand by my point, and I
Yeah,
believe it's the right
but
point.
the truth is
Um,
the third party.
Remember, you got to remember that despite you own a radio station, you also an opposition. So
No, no, no,
anything this
no, 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 no.
what you started, no, no,
You
no,
see,
I'm coming. What you started, based on what you your monologue is. I am coming. I'm gonna come hard, hit you hard. Just
okay,
give me
okay,
chance from
okay,
your monologue. From
okay.
your monologue. All right. So again, the blame game, saying that, oh, they should have an extension of a .gov and we don't have that. Yes, Mr. Mankota, if you are right, we don't have it. We respect that, and that's why we want to have it now. What is wrong if we don't have it and we want to have it now? What is
No,
wrong with that?
no,
This
no,
is all
but
about cyber security.
no,
You
but no,
see,
no, 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 no. An email system has nothing to do with cybersecurity. I think you misunderstand
Mr.
my point.
Mr.
I
Mankota,
okay, okay,
Mr.
go ahead.
Mankota,
Yeah,
anything that has to do with internet connection, computers, is a cyber security case. All right, that
not
I always mention.
necessarily, but
All
I
right,
give that. I give that.
okay. Now, why do we want to use cyber security if it is not about computers and technical issues? More so that has to do with internet and the computer. Why? It's because there are crimes, and almost all crimes are associated, or any new thing. The life of the individual is associated to computers, and if that is so, because there are intruders, people who are good and bad, they introduce cybersecurity. So any other thing falls under cybersecurity reasons. All right. Those emails the doc of you talking about, if we have that extension, cybersecurity will monitor them. Who sent this email to this minister? Who sent
I
this
understand. I
email to
understand.
this
I understand. I
extension?
understand.
All right.
Okay, okay, okay.
So,
Now, let me just clarify things here for the people that will watch me or we get for watch you later. All right. Cybersecurity is part of information technology. Computer system is a very vast ocean. You understand? I was not talking as an opposition. In fact, if you listen to me monologue clearly, I support the creation of a cyber crime laws. I was talking as an expert, somebody with a PhD in cybersecurity. That is the emphasis I put, not as an APC member. Okay?
all right.
And that's why I support. But what is in the bill is my concern.
All right.
So go ahead. I just want to clarify that. Let people understand.
Right. Okay. Let me also say something about myself. Hence, you have said something about yourself a little bit. My first degree, which is BSc Information Systems Technology, which, as you mentioned, is an extension or part of the cybersecurity system.
Mhm.
So I have a holder. I'm a BSc Information Systems Management. Now my second degree is, which is my master's, is master's in business administration. So you see how these two things come together. I work with you, man. Don't worry, I'll work with you. I'll
Yeah,
work with
yeah,
you,
yeah.
man, because
I
you're
understand that.
cybersecurity expert. All
I
right.
understand that.
So that's good. So I congratulate the government for taking those strides, and we're gonna move there bit by bit. But again, Mr. Mangota, remember, as we see, when we sit here, what we say here is what there we talk, me and you, but thousands of people are listening, and there are other people who might not even want to look at the right side. They have, everybody has, when you say one word, they hold on to it, especially in a country like Sierra Leone, which is so unique in terms of politics, that when one person says something, the other one says, as you said, and you emphasize that over and over in your monologue, that they are doing this basically they are rushing because of the opposition, those people who criticize the government. And you see, when people put informations like this, especially Dr. Mankota, remember my slogan: I like people who are, I mean, I don't like people who are PhD holders. I like people who are educated.
Mr.
That's
Mr.
my
Kabo,
slogan.
Mr. Kabo, Mr. Kabo, Mr. Kabo.
Yeah,
One of the
right,
problems we I see in your argument is that you are arguing based on what we call opinion, not based on facts. And the reason
okay,
why I strongly believe, see, you have not contacted anybody in Sierra Leone that are actually involved into this.
correct,
I can give you 100% factually
correct,
that you never
correct,
consulted people where they involved in this particular thing. You never
correct,
consulted parliamentarians then way now then don't get this book, this law, then they try for
hmm,
a debate time. All what you
correct,
talk right now is based on opinion, and opinion is very very subjective. And sometimes
all
if
right,
you not be careful with subjectivity, you will find yourself in a situation wherein even your expertise is put into question, and that is not what I don't want. That is not what I want to do.
right,
I want for make if this bill get for pass, which I strongly believe say it will pass because that is Sierra Leone Parliament, make
right.
it be a benefit to the entirety of the country, not
That is correct.
not a ploy for just go after critics. That is the point
Right.
I'm trying to say. Now,
I understand that. Yes.
I give you an example. When I say you
Yes.
are right now here, right, in the
Correct.
United States of America, the danger about cyber uh, crime bills, you are here in the United States of America. Today, you are supporting the government. Okay? If this bill pass, then 2023, let's say the APC come back to power. Then it starts for go after the APC. And a APC party will use this bill for go after you whenever, if you ever get for go back to salon. Not only when you get out, but when you go back to salon, then we able to still
Correct.
arrest you for that. And
Correct.
that implication is what I'm trying to highlight so that let we give people the way get the expertise for make them look into this and try for find a way how for modify the bill so that it's not only about social media, people who are on social media ranting about the government. I think I am very pragmatic here. I want
Mr.
you to
Mankota, yeah, I
pragmatic.
see your point. I see your point. Probably it's the way and method in which you put it, right? I like the idea. It's very brilliant for us to discuss on it. But you got to remember we have different rationales and different approaches. Maybe the rationale in which you take is the one that is too ambiguous. Now, and what I'm saying is this: now there is no government in modern days, and there is no government that will pass a bill to track its enemies in any form or shape. The intention of every government is to govern its people to the best of its knowledge.
Ah, come on,
We
come on,
know,
come on,
yeah.
come on, Mr. Kubo.
Okay, Mr.
Let's
Mankota,
listen
give me a
back
chance.
to
Mr. Mankota, give me a chance. Any government, any government in the world, the number one aim is to govern its people in the best possible way to protect the people and their property.
but that doesn't mean
That is the.
that does not mean that
I
they
am.
don't the
I
opposition.
am coming. There are people who might come in and they exploit certain clauses, certain things, You know that in any situation, even in America, we have institutions, we have rules and regulations, we have laws that are criminals. Other than that, if they just put the law and leave it, they will not have police officers because there are criminals who are playing to the intelligence of that law. That's what you should understand. So if Sierra Leone puts a law, it's not like it's tracking its people. There are tracking opposition. There are people who will play into it, and those people don't fit the description of the aims and objectives of a government. So those people are to be tracked. To be tracked. There are criminals everywhere. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
by you saying they put this so that people will do this, yes, people will do that. I accept, but they will trace them and they will track them. There are bad people. It's not only in the APC. SLPP comes in. I mean, APC comes in. They will get those people who will use the law against to their own advantage.
Mr. Gabo,
the government will be there to track them.
Let me ask you a question. You know about the libel law in Sierra Leone before, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Would actually been put that law there? The libel law.
All right. I will give you an answer with an explanation.
That's fine.
That was in the 60s,
yeah.
libel law, right? And it was during the time it was accepted, welcome. Even if SLPP started it and APC endorsed it.
I'm not talking about APC SLPP. This is just a constitution.
I'm coming here because you talk about libel law in Sierra Leone. You're going to talk about APC and SLPP. You cannot separate them. Even if it is APC,
I believe say 1967, it was actually, is it SLPP 1967? It was SLPP. We have not been get this, I don't know, but it seems like SLPP was dominant to that, but that's not the problem because it's a national constitution. It was not.
Now that libel law came in.
Or SLPP, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right, that libel law came in the 60s. Some of these guys who are talking against it were not even born yet.
I understand, and
and those are in those days. And I'm not trying to convince you, but you have to have a trust in the government you work for or you live in that govern you to a certain extent. You have to have a trust. Now, if let's say SLPP enacted that law, but the modern day politics, the new breeds, the offsprings of those people who are we now and more to come, we found out that it is not right, and that's why it is taken out.
Yeah, but
that is what we call.
I think you obsessed with partisan politics. That was not the point I'm trying to say. The point what I was trying to say was that law was put, and both SLPP and APC been support the law, right? As you said, I not did it.
I was not there.
Okay. Now, the point why they try to say is when a bad law, a law that is actually outdated or a law that is easily exploited by either a government or an individual is put into our books. It is dangerous because it is not the people who put this law. Maybe the people where they put this law then get good intentions. You understand?
Correct.
Let me give you an example.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, the how you call it, the Tusim law, where they put in 1991 constitution, right? The Tusim law. Those people like Abdullah Conte and the likes, they expect him. This law could be used for discriminate an entire group of people in a salon, because that was not the original intention. You understand? Their original intention was to protect the country, not to assume, but it was a bad law. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. Now we
at the time, it was not a bad law. Trust me, at the time, it was not. The happenings of those days, it was not a bad law.
Mr. Gabo, even that time we've been quite how we call them diaspora and they're with to sin. During those days, we had those people. Okay. It was a bad law. If that law was actually implemented, enforced like the way that they enforce anti-racism, it could have been a bad law from the beginning. You understand?
That's correct.
What thing can happen? They're not saying this law could not be implemented because you know why? Most of the people that waiting at the government are from, or we are from, other diaspora. So that they ignore the law. The law was bad actually, but they ignore. Even in the time of Anes Baikoma in second and third term, this law was there, but it was ignored until somebody we get selfish behavior, selfish motive, look
Who's
at
that
this
person?
innocent a bad law, and
Who
now
was that?
take this bad
Who
law.
was that person? Who was that person?
That's not my point. My point here is a bad law in a constitution
Ernest Koroma was the bad guy, right?
could be used. A
So,
bad law in a constitution could be used by
right.
anybody. So that means at the beginning of any law we they put, let's do our level best, especially in this modern society. Let's do our level best for make sure we remove some of those bad omen within the law.
Correct. All right, Mr. Mankota, let me help you. Let me help you something. I think I said that earlier on. I said the topic is very good. It's not bad at all. Everything about Sierra Leone towards development is very good in my own part. The only problem I have with you is the rationale in which you are posing this law now.
And I'm not opposed.
Now you can advise. You can look at certain. Yeah. No, but according to you, you said they don't have consultancy in terms of
I said they have
cybersecurity.
to bring in.
No,
I said they have to bring in. I said they have to bring in consultants so that then we able, you want the way experts about cybersecurity so that then we able to look at the law and try to make a better. That's all I'm saying. Not so.
I understand that, but I'm saying what you said exactly. There's no difference. They don't have expertise in consulting or people who are on cybersecurity. You said that. Secondly, you said they are rushing the law because they want to track the opposition.
And I say not to the opposition. I say critics.
Well, okay, the critics. No problem. The tapes are there, could be rewind, but we can read between the lines. Now, Mr. Mangota, what I'm saying is, remember when the free and quality education started, the same way you are saying here today, the same way it was being criticized. We are going along, but this is one thing you got to understand. Sierra Leone is a very young country in terms of development, in terms of
democracy,
in terms of everything. And if we have, I think I will give 110% praises. Everybody in the world, including donor people who fund government, foreign agencies, foreign government, they will be on my own side, and I'll be on their own side. I'm praising the present government for the mere fact that they have the initiative, they have the effrontery to come up with such a challenge. And I'm assuring you, Mr. Mankota, we Sierra Leoneans, we're going to accept that, and it's going to be voted, and it's going to pass along the lines. Corrections will be made. When this present government pass away, the next government comes. They will admit a building. A stepping stone. Unlike when we were there was no stepping stone. So let us start somewhere, and then we develop as we go, and we advise how we go. For now, congratulations to the present administration.
All right. So now we go for a short break and come back. When we come back, we discuss about that particular point where the type of bring come. Let's discuss about that, but let's go for a short break. Welcome back to the program. If you just join, we discuss the cybercrime law bill where they introduced in Sierra Leone Parliament yesterday. I just want to make a kind of reiterate quickly. Yesterday, the government of Sierra Leone introduced a cybercrime bill to Parliament. Then don't do the first reading. So then postpone the bill because some parliamentarians they're not even get a copy of the law where then will get the time for make them read this law, understand them before them prepare and can do based on what I understand. So now this we try to talk about. Here is the bone of contention we get with my commentator, Mr. Kabu. Um, so the bill, as we all know, now a bill way very very technical. This is not like something way very very easy. National issue, right? The national issue. This is international issue. Anything we get to do with information system, cybersecurity in particular, has to do with international implications. Because in cyberspace, there is no boundaries at all. There's no boundaries. Cyber information not get a boundary wherein, okay, this not the borderline between Sierra Leone and Guinea and whatever. No. I get in American I am. Are the cause problem na Sierra Leone through cyber information. I able to do them. So there is no boundary. So anything where then they try for implement as a cyber crime law within a particular country like Sierra Leone gets a huge implication, not only within the country, but also outside of the country. People like we brothers and sisters within our social media 24 hours, they rant in, they talk or they criticize the government and do all those type of things. And my points what I try to talk about here is now it is very important that we have cyber crime laws. I don't oppose the crime laws, the cyber crime laws. I'm not opposing them. My point what I try to talk about is when they introduce such a complicated piece of legislation, you bring in the experts, make the experts come in and can explain to you waiting at the implication how this not get for affect people there negatively. We've been creating laws for 60 years or so. We've been create legislation. Just look at the 1991 Constitution, where right now a lot of women the caution the thought processes of those people who created those that Constitution. For example, the Toussaint law. In terms of nobody not supposed to run for presidency without being in a political party. These are the 1940s mentality, 1940 mentalities. What right now we need as a modern democracy is for make sure say any legislation we will pass where they affect people them, we call in the expert them for make them cancel them and advise them, say, okay, when you do this, these are the implication, this are the positive side of it, these are the negative side of it. And that's the point why they try to bring here. And if they introduce a law, the law according to the parliamentarians, the way I talk to them, they not even get a soft copy we then send to the parliamentarians them. Now a hard copy they get. Hard copy. And now parliament then go read the law. And a lot of people that don't know, a lot of parliamentarians they not even know what they talk about anyway. To be honest, I'm not at the try for denigrate them, no, but they don't know what they talk about. Then they look at cyber crime law within the prism of just that small country, the Sierra Leone, the boundaries between Guinea and Liberia, that's particular boundary. They don't understand, say, it's a global thing when they discuss. So when you discuss something, we get forget a global implication, you call experts for make them come. Now, Mr. Cabo is trying for talk, say, okay, yeah, we get for let's pass the bill right now, and we modify it tomorrow later. The problem where I get with that is before we go to break, now Mr. Cabo been trying for telling. The problem where I get with that, Mr. Cabo, is if we pass a bad law, for example, maybe Madabio get good intention for pass this law. If we're not able for sit down and try for make this law as good as possible at this particular time, we pass them. Let's say party A come in, and the president of that now somebody will not to mature somebody. I'm just trying to give you example. Now somebody when a dictatorial person, you don't want let them criticize, I don't want anything. Instead of modifying that building, they use that bad building for go after the opposition, for go after other critics them. So that make anything at this particular time, we don't get mistakes them so much. Let we not continue for repeat the mistake. But the same thing will happen with the Constitution of 1991. They say, oh no, that will make us so we go modify as we go on. Up to today, from 1991, 20 years later, I think it's more than 20 years actually, almost 30 years later, we're not able to modify them because you know why? Nobody not get the gut. I'm talking about the politicians then for make them sit down and even acknowledge say this is a bad thing. You understand? That the same thing we go don't put this way. I will say, oh yeah, let me pass them. You understand? Then the one way they can modify. What about if the person not modify them? Look, 1960, I think 65 or 67, when that libel law we then put, I think 1967, I don't know, but something like that. We then put them. How many years before ever finally Mother Bio can for Kampula? And even at that, now just a partial repeal, now then repeal that building. Partially. Not all the full libel laws have been repealed. So now the same thing. I am talking in terms of the country. I'm not talking about partisan politics because today could be you, tomorrow could be me. No, this is about the individual Sierra Leoneans, the way we all want for CC, then get a better way for all then the government accountable in a respectful way. So, Mr. Gabo, the ball is near God.
Yeah, Mr. Mankot, thank you very much again. Um, as I said, it's a broad topic. Unfortunately for me, actually, I just jumped from my clock, my watch, I mean, my clock ringing on me, and I didn't even know what the topic was. But because I have an idea, yeah, I didn't know what we're going to discuss today. Before, maybe I get it like 10 minutes before I come, but today, no, I jumped right, So, but based on the idea I have, I will, and I tend to go along with your analysis or on your monologue, and that's where I catch you because you are the first person to talk, and when you talk, I see the points there and I see where I'm going, so I'm using you actually based on what you are saying. Now, is there borders in cybersecurity? You said no, but I say yes. There are borders in cybersecurity. There are boundaries. For the mere fact that um, it's because why you say so is because uh, uh, we don't respect space, we don't respect sea, we don't respect land, we don't respect boundaries in any part of the world. And that's why you think cyberspace has no boundaries, it has boundaries. Just that there are intruders, people who come in to intrude. And that's why we have this, and we have their special security. Now, in the present world, countries we live in, we have laws covering everything in the country, but yet still we have policing. We have people who are policing that. We have the military because there are other people who will come from another country to interfere into our other country, and that's why we have the military. And within the country, just within the district or wherever we live in the country, there are laws, but yet still people don't abide by those laws. They interfere. That's why we have the police. And now it's a modern day technology. We come into cybersecurity, which has to do with the world in general, and just like the world was created, everybody lives in his own place. But now we have a different system, a technological system on this space which we operate in. And as such, we're going to have cybersecurity, just like we have the policing people policing what we see that's happening around us and hear or do. And so also we're going to have this cybersecurity system to police the space we have. There are boundaries. It's just that we don't respect them, and that's why we're going to have this cybersecurity
Mr. Gabo,
to protect those boundaries.
Mr. Gabo, it confuse me. It confuse me. Can you try for explain so that as somebody will understand what in our cybersecurity, so that if it is not about me, what about the one the way the layman way they watch we don't understand much about cybersecurity. Can you explain? Because when you talk about boundaries, we control with boundaries. You know when somebody sends something, how many millions of networks that thing they go through, that package they go through, and you know who side then networks that they then leave. You know you can't. You
All right,
cannot tell. So
Mr. Mankota,
explain to we in a way, in the simplest way, where the layman were able to understand. Not explain in
right,
a physical way, explain in a
right.
virtual way.
I'm coming back to you. Unfortunately, you didn't get it, but I think other people. But I'll come back. I'll do
Okay.
all my level best. Right
Okay.
now, I you quietly right by saying that when you trigger an email or something or anything here, or you put it in the internet or more so in the WhatsApp, it will go viral, it go everywhere. Everybody could send it, and therefore, according to you, is that why you say there are no borders, no boundaries?
No,
Is that what you mean?
no. What I mean, all right.
Mhm.
Let's say I did send an email to you.
Right.
from the me own side.
Correct.
Do you know, because every text or any materials where you send social media, then they decompile it into packages. You know that, right?
Correct.
You know they go as a bulk, then get small packages, then they send them in small packages, and then packages, and they, for example, one package they go probably na Russia first before it
Correct.
come back for come to you. The other package
Right.
probably they go to Canada first before it come back for come to you. Or the other package they go. The network system that them packages and then they travel through. You understand?
Mhm.
It is
Right.
almost practically impossible for make you know. This is why any expert of cybersecurity they tell you same, there is no physical border when it comes to cyber security. This is a fact. This is something that we know. And you say you know somebody will get what they call information system, right? According to what you say, you should know that same. There is no way somebody can send something as alone. You understand? To another person as alone. Do you know that that thing they know they go directly to that person? Sometimes that particular them packages and they when they don't slice them into packages. Sometimes that package they come all the way in American I am before it go back to that person in a salon and a salon then you. So there's no border, there is no physical border in terms of cyber security, and you should know that because at least you get a bachelor's degree in cyber.
Mr. Mankota, you are right. Remember, it's just based on the presentation we are working on. There is no physical space in cybersecurity, which
Thank
is quite
you,
true.
thank you.
But there is a boundary which is not physical boundary or physical space. Because let's say this, I'm talking to you, Mr. Mankota, right? I want to send you an email. The
Mhm.
boundary, the border that exists between me and you is the border that exists is this is for you. It's not for John, right? But because of the cyberspace, there's no physical boundary. There are people who intruders who tend to hack and get that email before even you get that, they get that information. So that's why we have cybersecurity. But there's a space. The space is we establish it between me and you. I'm going to send you an information online. And that is the space. It's not for John, it is for you. But for the fact that there are people online who will track certain information and they will get it, or it might go on the wrong side. And that's why we have this security to police that. And that's just the simple fact of it. It's the same
Well,
thing in the
okay. I think you are coming to an environment where very technical in point. Okay, let me explain this. Not for you particularly because probably you know better. For the people the way they listening and watching. All right. Here is the thing, Mr. Kabo, where networking systems they do. Mr. Kabo, the people they're waiting on me host now. You understand? The people they're waiting on me host now. Let's say me picking. In phone there, I they send email to that picking email. All right. First of all, the email server is not in our house. Point number one. Okay. The email server could probably be somewhere in India or somewhere in California or somewhere in the East Coast or even another country. And when I send this email to this me picking, wait, now the same place we do, same house. This email is decompiled into small packages. You know, you do networking. Hopefully, you be waiting ones and zeros, right? I don't want to go too much technical, but you know, some of them things then they decompile them into machine language ones and zeros, and then ones and zeros then they use as a packages. This email not only they go directly to outside the server, they get for pass through networks them. Maybe your home network, for example, is part of the web network. You understand? Sometimes me email what I send from me picking where I host I am, it will go not to you. And if you know somebody will understand about cybersecurity, you able to capture. You know what it can call man in the middle. Man in the middle. For example, I can set up a proxy server here. Now me host I am, and I dey try for check all the packages the way they come. I able to capture them packages then they compile them together, see the information, and I even get the ability for make a redirect the information in there to another person or another server. So when I say cybersecurity doesn't have a border, I'm talking about a physical border based on the nature in which every single text or message when you send as the network, the internet, it is not possible for make me and you because I send them to you, so therefore now to you it they go directly. No, it they go to anywhere. Everybody can see them if you hear them. So that is the point I'm trying to make. Just you don't accept
All
that.
right, Mr. Mankota, I accept. I didn't deny anything you say about
Okay,
cybersecurity.
but you still
Anyone you
say they
say,
are
I
still bad.
accept, and I tell you, it's probably the rationale in which you use or how you put it. I said that over and over. You roll the tape, the people who are listening going to hear. Now, you see, you are explaining things in a complex situation with regards to cybersecurity.
I not be mean, and so but I have to explain
Right.
that to people that
In a complex situation. In a very simple way, as we have the nation, the country itself, Sierra Leone, we have security, we have the military personnel, we have the police, we have the escort, we have this, we have that. It's the same world is what they put in in cyberspace.
no, Mr. Gabu.
Now, okay, hold on. Okay, let me come. It's the same behavior. It's the human being behavior. The transactions of the human being, the do's and don'ts are the same things that we have in cybersecurity. Now, let me come to you. Now, you know very well that sometimes during our days there are times when they dispatch some large a chunk of money to some other district. Let's say you are from even the banks. Of course, the banks do that. You are in Freetown. You want to send money to McKinney through the banks, through the vault, or the car, the vehicle will come and send money or whatever. Or maybe a ministry is sending certain amount of money to so place. Or even in America, they do that. Or somebody, because in America, they don't have, I mean, in Africa, they don't have values like diamonds. And we have them. Well, what I mean, people don't store them personally on their own. You know, when we dispatch these monies, we know the possibilities that it might fall in the wrong hands.
Mhm.
And just like in cybersecurity, it's going to be falling in the wrong hands. And in cybersecurity, that's why because in cyberspace, that's why we have cybersecurity, because the possibilities that there are bandits along the channel that will intercept this message or this person, even though it's not meant for them, but they want to get what it is, and they
Yeah,
can confiscate it.
yeah,
Now,
but
the same way, when we send consignment, when government or any important consignment is sent from one place to the other, we have the police officers or the security we call to escort to make sure that that consignment reach the right person, because there are so many things could happen along the way.
yeah.
And this is no difference from cybersecurity. It's
Okay,
just to put it in writing in codes.
okay,
That's
okay,
what I'm telling you.
okay.
Okay,
Let me
there's no
explain.
difference.
Let me explain
Uh,
the differences. Let me explain the differences. Okay,
Go ahead.
the differences here is I give an example. Me begin now. We didn't the same host. You understand? If I want for Guillaume, let's say a phone, I don't need security for escort me to me picking a room for Guillaume phone. You know why? You know why? Then call them geographical implications. Geographical implication. I don't need that. I don't need for make call paramilitary people then for make them can escort me to me picking room for make a get on the phone. I can go easily get on the phone. This is where the problem is. But when you move from that physical proximity, you know, that physical advantage we will get, then you go to virtual. You understand? Even though me picking, now do me day. By virtue of right, I know for being free for same. If I send text message to them, that me picking day, that message day could be intercepted by somebody we I don't know. But in cyberspace, that is something that is practical. So this is where we disagree. The disagreement is you still insist say, oh yeah, when they say the concept looks the same, but there are boundaries and there are this or there are that. Okay, I accept. But there's a huge differences because of the way, the method in which transmission is made in a physical environment. Secondly, within the Sierra Leone country, if I want for send like the example we give, if I want to send something bow, okay, I dey use motor car and security for make the escort the money, right? But at the end of the day, it's still within the same country. You know, they expect him because you descend and so somebody wey dey in American I am go interfere with that what dem call the for attack that money dey for take that money dey, except the person wey dey inside that country dey along the way where they go. This is the vastness of the internet. This is the implication of the internet. So
Mr. Mankota, yeah.
accept that first, then let's move on.
No, no,
Yeah.
I do accept whatever you say.
Okay,
I
okay.
am giving a practical example, taking Sierra Leone as a cyberspace just to explain rather than going through out
Okay.
into the whole world. Because we are talking up to Sierra Leoneans. You don't want to talk about Germany, America. They don't even know where those places are located. We're talking of Sierra Leone. I'm trying to bring the people in practical understanding, just simple, in a nutshell, what cybersecurity is. I made mention of like the government dispatching serious commodities to a particular part of the country. They use like money, muscle in cash. They use security, either military personnel or police personnel or whatever kind of security, to make sure that this commodity, this parcel is very important and it reaches the right place, because there are hoodlums along the way. There are some other, just even the messenger would say, look, I want to do this, let's pass there. And the security will not allow that. They track every movement of it. I was just trying to put that logic into what is cyberspace
Okay.
before going out of
Okay.
it. So
Okay.
it's the same thing we do
Let's
in
move on.
cyberspace.
Let's move on.
Cybersecurity.
The slight difference between cybercrime and cybersecurity, they are interrelated. Definitely, they are interrelated. Cybercrime and cybersecurity. Cybercrime is for protection. Cybersecurity for exploitation. You understand on that? Security is for protection. Crime is for exploitation. Now, let's come back to the bill, which is the main point of argument, discussion here. Do you agree, say, it is important that at least if we're not expect, say, then we're able to get 100%. But there are already opportunity for make them able to get at least 90%, or let's say 80%, because they alone 50% na pass mark, not so. 50% na alone, you don't pass.
I don't know for now.
Yeah, before. Yeah,
I was looking at it. I was like 50%. Here, 70% is even a failure.
almost, yeah.
80.
80.
Yeah.
So at least let's try for reach the effectiveness of this law at least 80%, which is a binaya. You understand?
Correct.
Then you end up probably now very close to it.
ABC 3 digits most times they consider in America all over.
ABC. Well, no, then get F also. So
no, I mean, if you want to be amongst the students.
Yeah, exactly. So do you agree with me? Say it is important that at this particular time, since it has to do with global implication, make them call expert them for make them sit down and look at this bill in a way where then we're able to make so that tomorrow we'll not be able to start for good scratch with why first of all we pass this bill. This bill no make any sense. This bill it doesn't actually fight cybercrime. It's more of something. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree, Mr. Mankota.
Thank
Now,
you.
one thing Mr. Mankota, I since we started the conversation, I agree on every point, but I just say probably it's the rationale, the way you put it. All right, that is correct. And there are going to be hiccups. There are going to be things that we consider bad and things that we consider right. But let me tell you something, Mr. Mankota. In your experience in America, I don't know if you have managed anywhere or any area as a manager now, or but you have been employed in America, right? There are certain things in what we call the policies, the rules and regulations, the agency policy, or the whatever company work, the company policy. You understand, right?
Yeah.
I ask you this question? Do you normally agree totally with what is in that policy, in that company policy? But no, the answer is no. I know that. but you have to
Why,
work
why,
within
why,
those
do you,
framework
why do you answer me own question?
because you have to. That
Eh,
is
no, no,
obvious
no,
in America. You
what's
cannot
that?
go against you cannot go against the policy. So I don't know where you
Let me
except you
answer
come from
my own question,
Mr.
man.
Mr. Mankot. I asked the question, but I know the answer is no. You have to go with the principles. You have to abide by it. There are bad rules everywhere in America where we work as management or wherever, whoever you supervise, there are bad laws, but you just have to accept. In fact, when you go to interview or you are filling forms, they will ask you, you have this law in your organization, but this law doesn't favor you, and it's not a good law. What you think it's not a good law? What are you going to do with that law? They will ask you. If you say you're not going with that law, you're not going to be accepted in that job. You know
That
that, right?
that's totally different, Mr. Gabo.
Okay.
It's
So
totally,
so there are certain things in government, in any organization, in any family, even in the household we are. There are laws that are actually not ration. They are not rationalized. They have no rationality in them. But because they are just the law, they have to hold them. But they don't impede the existence of the purpose. That is what I'm saying. And there are going to be bad laws. I'm not giving you guarantee. And I just want to buttress this again to you. Rado Suare didn't just wake up overnight and come and bring this bill. There are experts. The only thing, he is the man in charge and he's the presenter, right? And there are hiccups along the line, even with expertise, because there are unforeseen circumstances. Just like you mentioned of the
but yeah,
libel law.
anybody
I'm
with
coming. I'm coming.
anybody where they watch we hold on, Mr. Gabo. Anybody where they watch we know Rado Yoki in number. I've been getting number, but I think say I don't misplace him.
So we can bring him here.
Pass on to me on a private um email or
Right.
WhatsApp, please. If you get me number, or we can just put on any group I go able to pick out. But okay,
Right.
go ahead.
So just like you said, the labor law in the 60s was a bad law. But just as I mentioned, there are if at all they put it through parliament, it carries the majority.
All
And
right,
that's why it was
let me ask you a
approved.
question now.
But
Let me
as we go, as hold on, let me finish two things. As we go along, now that nowadays youths or ministers or president, they found out that it's wrong, so we corrected it. The same thing with the law of the diasporans, which says what? How do you call that law? Just remind me
to
with
see.
regards to the sim the to sim. Well, it came up that the jargon now to sim actually is not a to sim, but we use that to be just to explain the
The
to
alias,
sim. Yeah,
the aliases.
yes. The to sim law is also a bad law because it's affecting people. We never thought of that much. Now, but what I want to say to you is the present government is doing marvelous. I'm not praising them because I like them or I support them, but I'm praising them because they are looking into these problems and which we all agree. We all agree on the liberal law was bad and the whole country agree on it and they took it out. Now we all agree on the to sim. Most of the diasporans, I don't know for those people who live in there, but the diasporans do agree on it to sim. But that I will tell you, it is a bad law because the president already had mentioned that and he is working on it. He hasn't come to it, and I know it's a tough situation because those people who have to vote for that law are in Sierra Leone. And we here can talk and talk. We are not going to vote for it. Sierra Leoneans have to
Let me
pass it
ask you a question.
anyway.
Let me ask you a question. Okay,
Right.
let me
So
ask you a
yeah.
question. Mr. Cabo, if there is a law where everybody knows it, the impact is going to be negative. And at the same time, the people where they try for make this law, then get the opportunity for make them improve in the law.
Right.
I not. Do you think it is now that the law has not been passed yet? Is the right time for make we improve in this law, or let's wait and pass the law and later we improve on them? Who say you stand?
I stand on the fact that one, that there is no law yet. There's an introduction.
Yeah, yeah,
And we don't know.
I'm saying, yeah. They're not passing
Yeah,
it.
there's okay. There is an introduction, and the introduction don't even go through yet, as you said. I was not privy to that information that much. I think I was doing some work last night
Yeah,
looking at it, but I
just
didn't.
don't, just
Yeah,
don't do
so
the
it was
just don't do
it
the
was
first
not
page.
clear.
Then just don't do
It
the
was
first
not
page.
clear. Right, it was not clear. And even though you also say the ministers or whoever, the members of parliament, they don't have an idea, a clue.
A
That's
substitute.
also, yeah. And that also, I want to be a guest. They're going to work on it. Just like you put it before me this afternoon, where I used the classroom information which I had and the practical evidence which I have to answer your questions and to make sure that we be at par. Now, if along the lines when the introduction of the law comes in, there are people who are going to be, you are one of them, who are going to say, no, this is bad. You have people who you can talk to, just like you said, you talk to parliamentarians. You can pass that to them and tell them, no, we have to ratify this. This is not correct. And until it is ratified. It's not going to pass into law. We can try as much, but remember, we cannot think more than maybe 10, 20, 20, 25 years or 30 years from now. We can only think maybe as Sierra Leoneans, we can think for about 10, 15 years or 20 years. But more than that, and as a law gets closer, older, things change. Children we give back to the change. Their thinking mentality change. The technology change.
I
And
understand.
along those lines,
You
yeah,
don't answer my question. You don't answer my question.
you're gonna.
You
But
just
I answered you.
you don't answer
But
am.
Mr. Mankota, I answered you yes. I said yes. That's the first thing. Roll the chip. I don't know if you can actually think. Roll the chip. I said yes. Along the as we have it now. Anything I said it's the law. There is no law yet. We don't know what the law yet is. The law is. It's just a cyber security. It's a
So,
general
so,
thing.
so to confirm
Right.
this, you say yes, it is very important right now for America
Right.
we put them as perfect as possible,
Correct.
based on
As we can.
based on the circumstances, right? Not so.
Today, the trend today, we cannot see 50 years coming along the line. We don't know what kind of systems are coming.
50 years from now,
Okay.
that's another old and call. I just want for let we
Exactly.
call within the proximity of
Yeah. But now I'm asking you this. Give me one clause now, as you are more particular about the law. Give me, if there is any, give me one clause of the law that you have a problem now, if there is one.
the social media
Mhm.
critics where then talk about people abusing social media, which I believe it's very, very subjective. When you say
Mhm.
the abuse of social media, it's subjective. What in that
Okay.
mean? Somebody can interpret it in any way. For example, if I
Right.
criticize you on social media, when I
Right.
legitimate criticisms, you will use that law there because to you it is an abuse, not so.
Right.
So these are some of the things where I did try for wood and consider. Okay, here is the thing. We have an opportunity for make we able look at when you say abuse on social media, what actually you mean?
Okay.
That in itself is an entire thesis. What do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean? Abuse on social
Okay.
media. So
All
that
right.
this is where the expertise come in and try for look at some of them here in coordination with the government and in collaboration with parliament for say, okay, when we say abuse of social media, this means this. This means this. This means this. So you narrow down the definition in a way that somebody else will, when a rogue person, a rogue leader, or rogue an individual, no go just can't say, oh, abuse. So therefore, are they going to court? Are they going to do this? Are they because the law says abuse of social media? So you have
Right.
to define that in a way. That's my problem. I decide for
All
put
right. So
together.
you said the minister mentioned about abuse on social media,
Not
and
the
that's where
minister,
you have a, or
the law,
whoever.
the bill,
The
not to
preamble.
law, not to law, the bill, yeah.
The bill already is the bill out. Is the bill out already?
The bill is already been introduced the first time yesterday. They don't read the first reading already.
All right. All right. So one of the things that catch your eyes is that, or your mind is that the abuse on social media is vague. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I
It's
think
it's too ambiguous.
yeah, exactly. So
All
let's
right.
try and define this in a way where
Now, yeah,
a
I
pinpoint.
understand you. I understand you, Mr. Mankota. Just like when you say cyber security, it's a vague statement because it has hundreds and thousands of information that you are talking about.
Yeah,
So it's the same thing when you start to break cyber security, you come to intrude or abuse of the media or whatever media you take or whatever you do in the internet, the abuse of that. So that abuse has to be specified. So that's why the bill is introduced, and people are going to ask questions about that. It's just an introduction. I don't have one yet. I'm going to look for it because I'm going to have my questions to fire that. And
Well,
that's a very salient point. The
Mr.
Sierra
Abbas,
Leoneans and the
Mr.
member, hold on, the Sierra
Abbas,
Leone, I'm coming. The government of Sierra Leone, the parliament, they have to be very careful. Yeah, all I would say is the parliamentarians have to be very careful. And if at all, I'm not saying they don't understand, but if there's a controversy along their understanding or reading of what they are doing, let them consult somebody outside the government.
why then now the government get the opportunity? Why then the government, where they introduce the bill, no, they consult the experts there? That's the point I was trying to make all along.
No.
Government
You
is
don't
the
get
one
it.
that
No. You don't get it.
hold on. The government is the one that is that writes this bill, right? They write this bill. They put the bill in a booklet form and say now this
Right.
now this I want for law now go debate and pass. If there is any way where the government where they write the bill for make them able contact or consult expertise, then for put some of them together so that when you go to parliament, Parliament don't need for take them back and send them back to the government. Say no, we know what them call this. So Parliament get for go back something what they supposed to don't do before they come. Then they go back and they go do them. Then come back. Then come with them call another thing come back. The Parliament see them back. Then send them back. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's gonna be happen because
Right. Okay.
I know Parliament.
Mr. Mankota, Mr. Mankota,
You understand me now?
I understand what you are saying. I get it clear.
Okay.
Mr. Mankota, you can write something for our organization, our small radio here. You will write something, you bring it. But yet still, when you bring it, say, let's debate this, I want to put this. There are things that are going to be changed. You say, okay, I'll bring it back. It's not a problem. That's why we have parliament to debate. That's where the debate comes. The government will not see every nook and crane of what is there. That's why it has the body, the parliament, the representatives. So when they bring it in, everybody brings his or her own expertise. If I'm a member of parliament, I have a consultant on certain issues. I will have a consultant on certain issues which I don't know, so I don't misrepresent my people. Remember, not everything a parliamentarian knows. Being in a government doesn't mean you know everything, but you have to be able to interface. You have to be able to create some relationship with certain areas. So being a parliamentarian and asking, or being a minister or a government and asking does not mean anything rather than doing the wrong thing. I'm sure when these things are being ratified, you will be satisfied because I know there are certain, as we go along, we're going to be reading this bill.
I'm hoping what also. I'm hoping what
we're
you talk. True, but knowing we Sierra Leone Parliament, sometimes have a lot of people that don't know they read that bill day, then they wait for Brown to fill up.
Well, this is the thing. Who are you going to blame? You send the parliamentarians there. We send them there.
Government.
Right.
I blame the government.
Yeah, we send the parliamentarians there to work for us. And now, as you said, you are not a member of parliament, but you have spoken to 2-3 parliamentarians about the soft copy, and they don't have. Those 2 or 3 parliamentarians also, please educate them so that they can understand if there is possible on what the bill is as you go along. That is what we call a nation.
That is exactly what we're doing right now. That is exactly what we're doing right now. But most of them will be able to watch this because we send this one on social media all around. If they're able to watch this, then we're able to understand, say, the implication is higher than what they think. This is not just a simple bill way for, say, let we sell cayenne pepper. That's alone. This has to do a global implication. So it is our own responsibility now for make we able to educate the parliamentarians, the government itself, Radoyoki. If I get Radoyoki in number, I will definitely try for call them and try for discuss this more.
That's good.
Because that also will able to help.
And what we will also do, Mr. Mankota, as Sierra Leoneans, to build the government or the nation itself to sustain to a sustainability point where we will be say, okay, satisfied, or we will not satisfy because every day we need more. We all need that. What I will advise is, and to all listeners, please don't just go with the idea, say, oh, they can't capture we. Well, then at the line, then at the WhatsApp, left for criticizing. Don't do that. That's not what you're going to do. Call your member of parliament. If you give a reason, why, give a solution to that reason. so that the member of parliament will have something to hold and go give that and give a reason. But it has to be a substantial reason,
I totally
something
agree.
that moderate. So
I
that's
totally
what we're going to be doing. Let us don't start now saying they are coming to track us because that's what's going to go viral now.
Mr.
They're
Gabo,
coming because they're tracking us in the WhatsApp and
Mr.
this.
Gabo,
That is a negative connotation.
Mr. Gabo, I
Correct.
totally agree with you. The problem where I get with social media is people always misrepresent the truth.
That's
Always.
correct.
And they
And
misrepresent.
now,
We are so obsessed with this partisan politics so much that we don't even know what's the truth. Look what happened.
okay, do we need a social security, Mr. Mankota? Do we
Yeah,
need a social security institution in, a cyber security institution in Sierra Leone?
that's the
Do we
first.
need?
That's the first thing I talk. I mean,
All
monologue.
right. If we need that, can
We
we build on it?
Oh
Can
yeah,
we start to build on it?
yeah.
And
The only thing I don't want for Mecca. We build the wrong foundation. I want
no,
for
no,
build
we
the
not.
correct foundation. That's
Let,
all.
let me tell you something. You should be able to trust your leaders at one point in time. And
Yeah,
I have seen I have seen a lot of evidence.
I
I
don't
have
want,
some seen a,
Mr. Dawa, I don't want to go too much into partisan politics, but if the leader, I trust you one time, you fail me, I trust you two times, you fail me, the next time I don't go trust you again, I go talk.
that is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. But I want to assure you that this and our status in Sierra Leone today, I know when I say government, because we just have to say that our status in Sierra Leone today is satisfied with the external world. Is well satisfied with the external world, and we are making strides. Now, what you do if the external world even hear that, yes, we're coming to build up a cyberspace security in Sierra Leone, they will know that we are putting our feet and hands together to move to the 21st century,
I
and
totally
that's what
agree.
they are looking for.
I totally
So
agree with you.
so let us start something. Let us forget about the negative part of it, but we will not implement it until we all satisfy. But again,
But
as I said,
the
there
problem
is always somebody who will say, "Oh, this is what they do." We're not going to listen to everybody,
Mr.
but we're
Gabo,
going to look at the main thing. All
Mr.
right.
Gabo,
Yeah.
like I said, social media has created an environment within the Syrian society in which the truth has been diluted so much that even the truth tinapne you so in front of you, you know go sabi and say na true again because we don't so obsessed with these partisan politics. Look what happened with Kampala, Uganda. Them baby them where them put pandemic chairs them.
Mm-hmm.
You believe say a lot of man and then say na cottage.
Of course, I know.
So
I saw that.
So these are some of the things that where some of we know they go on social media go talk based on emotion or based on partisan. Yes, sometimes I can become partisan. I'm
Yeah.
not immune to that. Sometimes I
They're
can,
just destroying the country. That's why I told you these people are
but,
not patriotic.
but always my main focus is how could you build an environment, a society where they prosper within the civilized world. That's my
Right.
focus. And if you
And
say
and
somebody give a talk,
yeah,
you know.
and just like you said, I give you a simple example. Excuse me if I hurt you, or you might feel it partisan. Somebody in the media say telling a Timini man like me, because I had that on social media, telling me a Timini man like me, born from Sanda, and I'm a Timini, telling me that an Eskoroma is a Timini, Samurai is a Timini. So I'm like, and the person who is saying this is not even a Timini. In social media, oh my God's sake, for God's sake, I am a Timini. You telling me, the Timini man, that Samurai is a Timini and S is a Timini.
Well, I know I'm good
For
at that.
God's sake. And Yansane is a Timini. Yansane is a Timini. For God's sake.
Well, I know, I know.
You're not even a Timini. And you telling Timinis that these people are Timini. When you are not even a Timini.
All right, I know I'm good. I know I'm go far to that. I think say I have to stay within the realm of cyber security. I think that the topic today.
Can you imagine? People are abusing social media, passing false information.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. We first of all, I just want to thank you for this wonderful discussion. This is some of the discussion the way we supposed to go to discuss for benefit society, like waiting with the wooden country, because this gets an implication not only for the people waiting at Sierra Leone, but also for we within the diaspora, because we are Sierra Leoneans and we are keen to understand and contribute within the happen as our own politics, not so. So
Correct.
the only thing we I want for urge Parliament and the executive branch, we they try for introduce this law in the Parliament for make them slow down a little bit. Let's look at this. Let's call experts them we go able to help with. It better you get on right than you get on raw and you rush. That's I support 100% for make. In fact, it's overdue. It's overdue for now we get. In fact, when I've been going to salon, like you one incident will go happen at salon. When I've been going to salon, I go to CID. Within the CID, then get then call a cyber unit. Okay, then get cyber unit. And I go try for talk to one of the guys na that unit there, na CID. And it's very concerning and very, very, degrading for see with cyber units is actually not Sierra Leonean cyber unit controlled. It's controlled by Britain. By Britain. Imagine you say you na an independent country. You're not able for control your own territory. And you say every single year with the with the dance na street, we say April, now they cancel. April the 27th, not so. We get for dinner, if not to Corona normal within our street, we dance how we get independent. But look at the basic stuff, then we supposed for control, not able to control anything. So let's trust we people them for make them able for control. Yes, there will be some errors along the way. And human being naturally it always gets errors. It make mistakes. But we have to trust we self. Let's trust our people for say they can help for make the country better. And cyber security, when they try for introduce so, it don't overdue. They're supposed for don't do and they're supposed to get a cyber because now right now you go to the banking system that's alone now, most of them and then they use digital stuff, not so cyber security need for day. The government then communication. They not get any encryption. So anybody can listen to within the government they say. So it's very, very troubling. So if they introduce this, they may come in a way now for protect the people and properties. Now, Salon, I am 100% in support of this. Support them. But then just I not just want for make them they make mistakes where we're not supposed to make. Yes, there is always going to be a mistake, but not make mistake where you say this is going to be mistakes and you get the opportunity for correct time before you put out that law date to people. And I also want this law to be, for suppose forget a program where for educate the people them, for make the people that know say this is what is going to happen before even them pass the law. Let's discuss this in media like what we discuss and so. We don't get all the information, but the information to them, that's one information we don't get that today. I swear to God, it help a lot of people the way they watch with today. Understand? So what about them when the government then get all the information, let them go now the media try for good educate people and say, okay, now this, now this, now this, now we want for do in terms of cyber security, and this now the implication. So let you know, say this now your limitation this, and this now the benefit of duty they put so that's going able to help with democracy. You get the last word.
Right. A good topic as Mr. Mankota mentioned, and I hope it will help us. Don't look at the other things we are saying between me and Mr. Mankota. Though we have to say them in the radio. It's just an argument, but at the end of the day, it's to make Sierra Leone a better country, and we all have we strive all for the same benefits of the today and yet the children yet unborn. So there is no easy way to success. Even when the law comes, it's going to be at the detriment of others.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's going to be against the others, and there are other people who are going to be disadvantaged on that law. But as that's a starting point. As we go along, we will make it. Remember, we are trying to be to merge with the world. We are working hard, and Sierra Leone has an international recognition on that. more so in the past 3 years. So let's just keep the ball rolling. It's not about who know, who don't know. If you know, please call somebody and tell the person that this is what I know. But the most dangerous thing about it is don't spread the bad news, which is to say they have come to track us, the opposition. They want to hold us. They don't want us to talk. They are tired because they think they know we
That,
are
that,
more in the social media. They are
that's
coming
already
to
don't
track
begin good.
us.
That's already don't begin good as social
That
media.
is a negative connotation. Otherwise, there will be no development in Sierra Leone if you want development. So we have to look at those things. And you got to remember, even if we as children, just an example, when you are a child right now, there are kids there who are struggling, starting to be educated. They start from grade one. They have hurdles along the way. They fail, they go on again. They fail, they go on. It's the same thing. What is different with the government? They can put a law. The law has certain areas where it is not good. Let's try it. I mean, you fail and you try. It's not something bad. It's a process in learning. Learning is made of two things: either you fail or you pass. And when you fail, in fact, it tells you just to make sure that to let you know the mistakes you made, and then you go forward. Doesn't mean you're an entity if you fail. So let's give the government a chance. Or that if we politicize these things, we're not going to go nowhere. Let's give the government a chance to do what it is doing. The government is there and people are watching both in Sierra Leone and outside Sierra Leone. If something is wrong and people don't satisfy with it, somebody will come with it. But don't come with your shallow minded and ignorance to argue on things you may not even know. If you argue on something and you have a problem with it, bring a solution to that argument, and then they will work on it. If you can't reach to the government, reach your councillor, reach your paramount chief, reach this. This is a concern for this. This is a concern they can reach. But the problem you guys have now, I know, Mr. Mankot, I would say this: the problem the youths of Sierra Leone or the people of Sierra Leone have today is that they want to send questions direct to Madabio to answer them. And Madabio cannot answer everybody. They're going to take their questions. Why do you do this? Yes, Madabio, I'm sending this. If this video reach Madabio or this audio reach Madabio, let's see why he do this, why he do this. What is this? You will never get an answer because he's not even going to listen to all those things. You have a channel from your father to your councillor to your member of parliament to your paramount chiefs and to the minister. They can channel your cases. But when you come out to the street, that's rudeness. Marabio, I'm talking to you. If you get this message, this is what I want to. Who are you? Who are you? You ask yourself, who are you? Sometimes we need to ask these questions. Who are you to stand there and say, Marabio, this is the question for you. I have this question. I want you to do this. This is what you got to do. Who are you? This is where we miss the whole problem. There are rules and regulations we have to follow. We just
I
have
get,
to
I
accept
get
them.
you. I get you. I get you. I know say.
Thank you.
I get you.
Yeah, people just stand. I'm talking to Marabio. I'm sending this message to you. I laugh at them. Who the heck are you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the program. So I just want to thank the Honorable Mr. Cabo from Sanda, the chimney boy, for make this discussion very very important for everybody. And I also want for all you all who now we watch this up to this time, for make we know say um, Sierra Leone is yours, Sierra Leone is mine. Nobody know they come for come make Sierra Leone. Now we get for make them. If we spoil them, that's all. The one way the outside of Sierra Leone they suffer. Now we na Sierra Leone and they get for suffer. And whether you did at the diaspora or you did at the country, when we get a failed state, it affect everybody because you get people them where they look up to you. If them people then get good life and they know they mourn you too much now. Yeah. The reason which make a lot of people they thinking mourn win now now because they know there is no way, there is no means of surviving. So they have to look up to me. So why don't we all come together and forget about the parties and politics? Parties them they make them for make it be a platform wherein you will able to help the country, not to for divide the country, not to for face each other. You know, ideological battle are not something that they call tell somebody go destroy this, go destroy that, begin cause mamikos or whatever. This is not going to help the country. It's only going to widen the division where we get. Until we within the diaspora will begin to understand that saying we have a moral responsibility for bring in unity no matter what are the circumstances. One thing where a lot of people they don't understand is when we say multi-party democracy, the reason why the multi-party democracy because we are divided in terms of ideology, and their ideologies then they compete for make the country, not for destroy the country. And we get shallow-minded people there on social media. Social media don't give them the environment for make them kind of more begin rant every time. There is nothing good for them in terms of as long as the government is not their own government. Nothing good for them. Then they put my social media. Always. Then they go all over the social media. Some of them then they go Google for make them go see stuff them way not to even happen as alone. Then they snapshot them thing then they bring and come now Sierra Leone them WhatsApp them then say una look the country how it will then come. So do you really think you are helping the country? No, you are not helping the country. You are contributing to destroy the country. Because some of them today, like what would they talk about cyber security? So some of them today is not only seen by Sierra Leoneans. Those things are seen by people outside of Sierra Leone. What are the perception of them people then they when they see some of them fake stuff where they happen for your own country?
But Mr. Mankota, sorry, just to, but you know, when you bring that topic, it's very important, right?
Yeah.
And two things I gather from what you mentioned: people bringing fake information from abroad, like Ibrahim Fofana, the one on how you call that media, they call them trash box or cash box. Mohammed, I mean Fofana, yeah, they get that box they call trash box. The guy in Philadelphia or somewhere there, right? He's
Yeah.
the guy who saw something happen, I think, in Cameroon, where the people chop the girl, the lady's neck. You know when what he said in the media? He said
Yeah.
that was a Timini woman being chopped by Mende people. Hey, that thing would have triggered. It was a thin point to trigger war in Sierra Leone. This guy ranting in the media. And these are the people who are going to still say they are coming to hunt us. You know that, right? They're going to say this bill is to hunt us. They are going to say that because they are the same people who are sending the wrong information. And they know, yes, Mohammed Fofana or what they call you, we are coming to hunt you. But Ibrahim Fofana, for the wrong information, we are coming to
Yeah,
hunt you. And
I
yeah,
don't know.
so that is no question about that. They're gonna hunt them, those who give the wrong information. Do you
Well,
understand that? And you know what is funny? This is why cybersecurity is good. When they send these informations with their own stupidness, they think that the world that is advanced, like America, don't know what they are doing because they see them through cybersecurity. They know this information is not from Sierra Leone. So that's why when they are talking, all they are ranting, they bring in things. The international world don't listen to them because they see what is going on. They know where a picture comes from, where a cartoon comes from, who wrote this, like Jibril Bangura here, sitting down there and erasing. Hold on, I'll call names. I'm
I don't
starting to
know
tell you
call
now.
names
Like
and people.
Jibril Bang,
No,
no,
that's
no,
not
like Jibril,
who it
like
those.
Jibril Bangura taking the Globe media paper and take off the front page and put some irritating things about the government of Sierra Leone on the front page. And now, because the Globe has won him, now he gone to Nigerian papers. He's using Nigerian papers now
Right.
to blackmail the government. So
Okay.
these are the people we're going to track. That's no question about it. We're going to track them. That's not opposition. That's damaging the country. We're going to track them. Definitely. And those are the people who are going to say, this law is bad. Let's go out and strike. Like the other one who told us that in the media that Yasane, Anes Koroma, Samura, Mohammed Bangura, he said they are Timinis. He counts all these four people. He don't even know. He's not a Timini. He's telling the Timini people, these are Timinis. He don't even know. These are the people we're going to track. Definitely. They're going to track them. That's no question about that. So they will start to call them to go parade, to go stand up there and march against the government so that law don't pass because they're coming to track them. Yes, this type of people are going to be tracked. That's no question about it. You
Uh,
see, just say it.
well, one for the Kaba says cybersecurity is not much about the citizen, but it is a new war that are even fought by state to state.
That is correct.
You are
You're
right.
talking of Sierra Leone. We are just talking about Sierra Leone.
Yeah, it's the same thing when they talk about protect properties and citizens. So it's actually a combination of both because you get individuals. Them. In fact, um, the industry today, we then call the black sites. These are actually the black sites is actually created by the CIA. Well, let me not go too much onto that anyway. But Mr. Afode Kaba, you're right. Cybersecurity is very important now for any state for make them able to find a way. The only problem where I get is let another person come fit with cyber. I don't say yes, will not get the full expertise yet. That is why education is very, very important. The way the world on day today, any country where no one embrace education, you could just continue for go down the drain because somebody is always going to control you. No, people that don't get a salon way, don't go outside, don't go study, all them kind area. Let we use them people then let we use Sierra Leoneans them. If not for go teach them, let we introduce cyber security classes then now we institutions them. Let we start for train we picking them from high school, they go we then we're able for develop the expertise where they need by the time we then reach our college they are actually masters of their expertise and they are just a continuation. If we able for do we go able for be part of the war against cyber crime. And so you're right, I agree with you. But like what you they talk me, Mr. Kabunomo, it is also our own responsibility as Sierra Leoneans for make we always try, we level best. Yes, I don't say we not criticize the government. Me where they see so they criticize Mother Bio, bad one. But I know how I did criticize Mother Bio. Because at the end of the day, the time when we did in our power, as I mean APC, people that know some of the people that we know me, they know me say when the APC do bad, I they criticize them. I know they try for destroy the reputation of the government, but they criticize and say, hey, what you are doing so bad, but hey, I think say that the solution them. That's not the responsible way for criticize the government. When a government do bad, now you don't government that want them. Criticize and say now the wrong thing. So and at the same time you give a solution, not to just for calm, you know, destroy, go take some things they can't paste because you think say you try for blackmail the government. It's, you are not blackmailing the government. Yesterday I see one articles where some people and they float around social media. They say the IMF, the World Bank, and the United States of America don't invite Chernobyl for make then go talk to them about the corruption as alone. I just look at it and I say, what? How people then so naive? The IMF know what they go on a salon pass anybody. The World Bank know what they go on a salon pass anybody. See,
This is what I just said.
the United States know what they go on a salon pass anybody. So why they need Chernobyl for make them go know what they go on that country? That now but it's social media, right? It's social media. So let's do our level best. Let's hold our country accountable. I have no doubt about that. If me all the APC government way are supported, understand it, accountable. So in other times I know I know go all Mother Bio in government accountable, but do it responsibly. Because at the end of the day, it's the country that you are destroying, the reputation of the country. Some of them and the people they know when they don't understand the country, then they see some of them and them, then they take it serious. And you think say you are holding the Mother Bio. Mother Bio is just a contractor. You are the government. It just like a company. If you get a company, you hire a CEO for that company, you are still the owner of the company, not the CEO. The CEO is just an employee. So Madabio, in terms of Sierra Leone, is just a contractor, is an employee. Now we get them. If you know do the right thing, we get a contract. When the contract done, we put another person for can continue with the contract. But for going on social media, begin to talk all kind of nonsense things that were not necessary, is hurting our country. And it is not politics. Now bad heart. Now ignorance. That's all I have to say. And we don't do so much. We don't go 2 hours above. because this topic is very, very important. And probably, hopefully, if I able to get Rado Yoki in number, probably, hopefully, I go try for Brian Cap if possible. If I not get her now, that's fine. As the debates they go on, would they come and try for educate people then what's not the implication. I will also try if I go able to get a soft copy of that legislation there for make I read everything for make maybe I go able to help more for educate people them at this program here. Mr. Gabo, thank you very much for your wonderful contribution towards this topic. All right, we'll see you back next
You're
week,
most welcome.
the same time, the same place.